If you don't push yourself, life will push you around. My friend, let that thought linger for a moment, because we live in a world where comfort is king. But growth, progress, and success demand something more. They demand effort. They demand persistence. And most of all, they demand that you push yourself. You see, success doesn't come by accident. You don't wake up one day and stumble into greatness. No, you earn it. You build it one small choice at a time. You push through the resistance. You go the extra mile. You stay up a little later. You show up even when you don't feel like it. When I was 25 years old, broke and embarrassed, someone told me, Jim, for things to change, you have to change. And that changed my life, because here's the truth. If you want more, you have to become more. Your dreams don't respond to your wishes. They respond to your actions. So I say this to you today. Push yourself. Make it happen. Discipline is the starting point of all success stories. It is the quiet force behind every high achiever. Most people desire success, but desire alone is not enough. Dreams don't work unless you do. And that's where discipline comes in. It's what turns ideas into action, and action into results. When you make a decision to push yourself, you're really making a decision to embrace discipline. It's about doing what needs to be done, even when you don't feel like doing it. That's the real test, because anyone can act when they're excited, when the mood is right, when the path is clear. But the person who pushes through when motivation fades, that person is destined for something greater. Discipline requires sacrifice. You may need to give up temporary pleasures for long-term gain. You may need to face discomfort, uncertainty, or fatigue, but the reward is growth. Every disciplined action compounds. Every early morning, every late night, every extra rep, every deep study session. It all stacks up. And over time, you begin to separate yourself from the pack. Not because you're smarter, not because you're lucky, but because you made a decision that others didn't. You decided to push yourself. Regret is the cost of ignoring discipline. It creeps in slowly, showing up as missed opportunities, wasted time, and unfulfilled potential. And the worst part is, by the time you feel it, it's too late to go back. But discipline is different. It may weigh ounces now, but it lightens your load for the future. It builds confidence, habits, and character. When you live with discipline, you walk with purpose. You push yourself not just because you have to, but because you've seen what happens when you do, and you know it's worth it. One of the most important realizations in life is understanding that no one is coming to rescue you. Waiting for the perfect opportunity, for someone to discover your potential, or for circumstances to magically align, is a trap that keeps people stuck. The truth is, your future is your responsibility. If you want change, if you want progress, if you want success, it has to begin with you. There is great power in taking ownership of your life, because once you stop blaming the economy, your past, your environment, or other people, you gain the ability to create something new for yourself. You can't always control what happens to you, but you can control how you respond, and that response is what shapes your destiny. Pushing yourself means stepping into that responsibility with courage. It's easy to play the victim. It's easy to wait, but nothing changes until you decide to take control. The most successful people in the world didn't wait for someone to give them permission. They didn't wait until they felt ready. They got up, they moved forward, and they figured things out along the way. They pushed themselves, through fear, through uncertainty, through failure, and made things happen. There is a shift that occurs the moment you stop looking outward for answers and begin looking inward for strength. That's when your life begins to change. You stop waiting for the right time and start making the time right. You stop asking for handouts and start building with what you have. And as you push yourself, as you take that first hard step, momentum builds. You gain clarity, confidence, and power. Because when you realize that everything you need is already inside you, you stop waiting. And you start becoming. That's how you begin to make it happen. Growth is never found in ease or comfort. It lives in challenge, in effort, in doing the uncomfortable things that others avoid. The comfort zone may feel safe, but it is also where dreams quietly die. When you stay where it's easy, you rob yourself of the strength and wisdom that only adversity can teach. Pushing yourself means stepping beyond what feels good in the moment and leaning into what will make you better in the long run. It's about stretching your limits until what once seemed hard becomes your new normal. Every time you choose to do the difficult thing, whether it's waking up early, speaking up when you're afraid, or continuing when you're exhausted, you send a message to yourself that you are capable of more. And that message compounds over time. The more you act with courage, the more confident you become. You start building resilience, mental toughness, and belief in your own ability to grow and adapt. These are the qualities that shape leaders, creators, and champions. When you stay in the comfort zone, you trade progress for predictability. But life rewards the bold. The uncomfortable path is the one that leads to growth, to strength, to opportunity. Yes, it may be uncertain. Yes, you will feel fear. But fear is not a sign to stop, it's a signal that you're on the edge of something new. Pushing yourself beyond comfort isn't about punishing yourself. It's about discovering who you really are underneath all the limitations you once believed in. You can stay the same, or you can become more, but you can't do both. If you want to evolve, if you want to lead, if you want to win, you must get comfortable being uncomfortable. That is where true transformation begins. Success is not reserved for the most talented or the most gifted. It belongs to those who are consistent. Talent may give you a head start, but consistency is what carries you to the finish line. The world is full of people with potential, but very few who show up day after day and do the work. Pushing yourself means making a commitment to consistency, not just intensity. Anyone can work hard for a day, maybe even a week. But real success comes from doing the right things again and again, especially when no one is watching and there's no applause. When you are consistent, you build momentum. Each small action may seem insignificant on its own, but over time, they stack up to create massive results. Like a drop of water shaping a rock, consistency transforms effort into excellence. You begin to trust yourself because you prove with action that you are reliable. This self-trust builds confidence, and confidence fuels further action. It becomes a cycle of growth rooted in showing up, regardless of how you feel. Consistency doesn't mean perfection. It means making progress even on the tough days. It means staying committed when the motivation fades and when challenges show up. Because they will. Life will test your resolve. And in those moments, the person who has trained themselves to keep going is the one who rises above. The difference between winners and quitters is not ability. It's discipline, patience, and relentless effort. You don't have to be extraordinary to succeed. You just have to be consistent enough to outlast your excuses. Push yourself, keep showing up, and trust that every step you take is moving you closer to the life you want. In the long run, consistency always beats talent. Always. Motivation is fleeting. It comes and goes like the weather. Here today, gone tomorrow. If you rely solely on motivation to get things done, you'll find yourself making excuses more often than making progress. That's why discipline must become your foundation. Discipline is not about feeling inspired. It's about doing what needs to be done, whether you feel like it or not. It's the inner voice that says, "Get up and go," even when comfort tries to convince you to stay where you are. Pushing yourself means choosing discipline over feelings and committing to action even when your emotions are not on your side. While motivation is emotional, discipline is structural. It's the habits you build, the systems you follow, and the standards you hold yourself to. Discipline is waking up early not because you feel excited, but because you made a promise to yourself. It's practicing your craft even when no one is watching. It's taking the next step not because it's easy, but because it's necessary. This level of discipline creates consistency, and consistency produces results. The people who succeed at the highest levels don't wake up every day full of energy and drive. They just don't let their moods dictate their actions. They've learned to lead themselves. They've trained their minds to obey the schedule, not the emotion, and in doing so, they create momentum. The truth is, once you begin moving with discipline, motivation often follows. Action generates energy. When you stop depending on motivation and start developing discipline, you take back control of your time, your habits, and your future. You begin to lead yourself with purpose, not just passion. And when that happens, you no longer wait for the right moment. You create it. That's how you push yourself and make it happen. Every decision you make today shapes the life you will live tomorrow. The future isn't some distant place. It's built moment by moment through your habits, choices, and actions. Pushing yourself means recognizing that what you do now matters. Far too many people underestimate the power of small, consistent steps. They think success comes from one big breakthrough, but in reality, it's a result of daily effort compounded over time. Every time you choose discipline over comfort, focus over distraction, and action over delay, you are investing in a better future. The problem is, most people want results without responsibility. They want change, but they don't want to change. They wait for the perfect time, the ideal condition, the right amount of motivation. But here's the truth. There is no perfect time. There's only now, and what you do with now determines everything. Your habits are carving out your destiny. Your work ethic is building your future character. Your mindset is planting seeds for what's to come. If you continue to do what's easy, your life will be hard. But if you choose to do what's hard now, if you push yourself, you'll set yourself up for freedom, growth, and lasting success. You don't get what you want in life. You get what you consistently work for. Every effort counts. Every moment you choose progress over procrastination is a brick laid in the foundation of your future. The beauty of life is that your future is not fixed, it's flexible. You can rewrite your story, redesign your path, and recreate your results. But it starts today, right here, right now. Don't wait another year. Don't waste another day. Push yourself, act with intention, and build the future you deserve. Because no one else can do it for you.